Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When it comes to the Lord has created this entire creation. It was actually Vichitra, wonderful, and at the same time, when we look around, it's very surprising as well. It is described in Shastra that Lord's creation, Tripad Vibhuti or three-fourth of Lord's creation is the spiritual world. And Pada Vibhuti or one-fourth is this material world. In that three-fourth, we have all amazing devotees staying. They're all normal citizens. And this one-fourth that we have, in this, all criminals are put. And in this one-fourth, we see there are infinite number of living entities because there are infinite universes. And in each universe, we have 14 planetary systems. Just imagine how many living entities will be there. And all these living entities have been put into this jail called Durga, or the fort, or this entire material world for purification. And this jail has also got different levels of treatment. So we have level 1 treatment, level 2, and level 3. Level 3 treatment. So like that, we have these 14 planetary systems where we can say level 1 treatment is higher planets, Svargaloka, etc., where enjoyment is there. Level 2 is this Bhuloka, where people suffer. And level 3 is Narkaloka, where people really suffer. We cannot imagine the suffering that is given in hell. Therefore, one thing that we need to understand here is Lord's creation is really amazing. It's all meant for one's purification. So we have 14 planetary system. Middle planetary system is where we are in Bhuloka. Above that we have 6 and below that we have 7. Like that we have 14 planetary system. Many times people feel that lower planetary system are all hellish planets. No. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. All these 7 which are there, all of them, they are called as Bilva Swarga. They have opulence like Swarga. Therefore, Bali Maharaj was sent to Sutalok. And Vaman Dev said, I will be your doorkeeper. Now, if Sutalok is hellish planet, then why will Bali Maharaj be sent there? So, in this way, these lower 7 planetary system, they are also meant for enjoyment. Up it's for enjoyment, down it's for enjoyment. Only middle is enjoyment plus suffering. I should say suffering more, little enjoyment. That's what is the place where we all are living in. So where is Narkaloka? Narkaloka is below the 14th planetary system. That is the 15th planet. And in that one place, we have got many hellish planets. Now many times, this is discussed that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. And one shloka which Prabhupada often quotes for this is second chapter, shloka 13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapte dhiras tatra namuhyati. Like the soul passes from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly, the soul passes through the next body at the time of death. Now here comes a very important question. Tatha dehantara prapte. Going to the next body, what are the details between the two bodies? How does that really happen? How much time it takes? And on what basis the next body is given? That is clear. That's based on karma. Therefore, it's very important to note the next body deciding factor is the current activities. And we can divide the entire crowd into 3 categories: devotees, pious people, and sinful people. Now, talking about devotees, first, I want to have a nice talk. So, when it comes to devotees, And Yamaraj is instructing Yamadutas. When Yamaraj is instructing Yamadutas of whom to bring to the hellish planet and whom not to bring, there Yamaraj started glorifying devotees. And he started saying that these are the personalities who are always immersed in devotional service. And he makes one very exclusive point. They are the ones who never commit sinful activities. No adharma. No adharma. And he also said, because of mistake, bewilderment, or illusion, they might sometimes commit sinful acts, but still they are protected from sinful reactions because they are always chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Therefore, Yamaraj is telling Yamadutas in 6th canto, chapter 3, shloka 28. Here, when he's talking about devotees, one thing when we read it again and again, we realize he's talking about Paramhamsas. So in this shloka, he says, Paramhamsas are exalted persons who have no taste for material enjoyment and who drink the honey of Lord's lotus feet. My dear servants, bring to me for punishment only those persons who are averse to the taste of that honey, who do not associate with Paramhamsas, and who are attached to family life and worldly enjoyment, which form the path to hell. So when he says devotees, he's talking about Paramahamsa devotees. And he continues saying, whom should you get to me? My dear servants, please bring to me only those sinful persons who do not use their tongues to chant the holy name and the qualities of the Lord, whose hearts do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once, and whose heads do not bow down even once before Lord Krishna. Send me those who do not perform their duties towards Lord Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life. Please bring me all such fools and rascals. This was Yamaraj is telling Yamadutas. All the ones who are not doing bhakti, get them to me. And rest what he will do, we'll see now. But another very important thing to note here is that devotees never commit sinful activities. Devotees will not get into adharma. See, our entire society, Varnashrama system, when we talk about Varnashrama, be it any platform of yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all of them, they're above adharma. They're above adharma. Anyone who commits adharma, they cannot be part of the yoga ladder. No. If anyone commits adharma, anyone is sinful, that person comes in sinful category. Simple. He cannot be called as a devotee. Once I was asking to one of the senior devotees that Prabhuji, you all say that Vaishnava Aparadha is so grave, but when we have to take strict action against some devotees who have committed sinful activities, it was very difficult. Then he said, sinful activity, devotee, these two words don't go together. Devotee is devotee, sinful person is sinful person. Obviously, due to some illusory motive or illusory energy pulling us towards some sin. Because of past vasana, accidentally committing sin is still accepted. Api chetsu duracharo. In that shloka, Krishna makes it very clear. Accidentally committed sin, okay, no problem. But intentionally committed sin, such a person cannot be a devotee. That's the point that is made. So a person who is a devotee, what is his destination after death? His destination is Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Who comes to take the devotee? Vishnu Dutas himself, they come to take the devotee. And when it comes to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who come to take Gaudiya Vaishnavas? Krishna and Srimati Radharani personally with other gopis and gopas, they come to take the devotee. So when it comes to devotee, it is very clear. I mean perfected souls who attain Krishna Prema. The goal of life is Krishna Prema. The ones who have attained that goal. So those people, will be taken by the lordships. But what about those devotees who have not yet perfected their life, but they are practicing devotees, not committing any sin, trying to live up to the expectation or as much as possible up to the expectation of the spiritual master? What will happen to them? Who will take them? That Krishna will decide. So Krishna will make sure that his associates or some demigods, they will come and help the devotee, practicing devotee. Yamdutas will not come and touch them. But the other two categories that is there, pious people and sinful people. And those devotees, so-called devotees who are committing sinful activities, they all come under this category. So what happens to them is what is discussion that we want to have today. It's a very deadly discussion from Garuda Purana, Shrimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharat. Very, very interesting. And at the same time, a topic which gives goosebumps for everyone, including devotees as well, and which is an alarm that not to commit sinful activities. So when a person is leaving the body, what happens? It is described in Garuda Puran that when the person is leaving the body, that one moment seems like one yuga, one full age. And the pain that is there is equivalent to 100 scorpions biting at one time. The number 100 is given in Garuda Puran. And this sinful person who leaves the body, he leaves the body from the lower holes. So we have 9 holes in the body. 2 holes are below, genitals and rectum. So a person who is sinful cannot leave from the top, that he'll leave from bottom, either through genitals or through rectum. Now such a person who is there, who is very, very sinful, very attached to family, all the time doing sense gratification, such a person is taken by Yamadutas. When he's about to leave the body, at that time at least 2 Yamadutas come to take. At least 2. Because 3 came for one person. Who was that? Ajamil. There were at least 2 come, and more than that also, depends on the person's sinful capacity. Now here, one very important thing, when Yamadutas come, so one thing we have to understand is that Yamadutas are not very good looking, charming, handsome people. They are the ones who keep their hair straight with some gel or something, I don't know. Yes. Coppery hair. And then the teeth, they have canine teeth. They have huge beard also. No, huge beard. And their entire eyes and everything is very, very ferocious. They hold trident in the hand and other weapons in the hand. They have Yamapasha in the hand. And what these Yamadutas do, they put the Yamapasha across the living entity and pulls him out. So they are pulling him out of the gross body. So subtle body plus soul is pulled out, from the body. And when that pulling happens, that pain is what is spoken about as one moment of pain, but that pain looks like pain of ages. Because all that which he has been attached to and all that he has amassed till date, all that is taken away at one go. It's taken away. And he's not able to bear that pain. So that is compared to 100 scorpions biting at one go. Now, when he's pulled out, he's of the size of thumb. So that includes the subtle body also. And he's pulled out. And now, one very, very important thing, which most of the pious people might know, that there is a 13-day ceremony that is done. When it comes to a person's death, 13-day ceremony is done. What is this 13-day ceremony? Let's try to understand this. What happens in those 13 days? In these 13 days, Pindodaka Kriya is done. Pinda is offered and Udaka is offered. Pinda means, translation says rice ball. So rice is offered, rice balls are offered. And water, Udaka means water. And this we also get description in first chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Pindodaka Kriya. Close the door. Now what happens, when this Pindodaka Kriya is happening? Okay, the soul is pulled out. The soul remains in that place for 13 days. The soul immediately does not go out. It remains in that place for 13 days. And for the first 10 days, the soul is given a sharira called Ativahika Sharira or Yatana Sharira. And this sharira develops slowly and steadily, day by day, one after another. The first day, when this Pindodaka is offered, at that time, the head is formed. Second day, again when Pindodaka is offered, the neck and shoulder is formed. Third day, the heart is formed. Fourth day, the back is formed. Fifth day, navel is formed. Sixth day, hips are formed and the genitals are formed. Seventh day, the thighs. Eighth day, knees. And ninth day, feet. So, like this, the entire body is again formed. Now, this body is similar to the gross body that he had, look wise. Therefore, in that painting, BBT painting of Ajamil, you see, he is pulled out and the person is looking the same. Yes. So, our paintings of BBT, they are not ordinary. After a lot of thought process and philosophy, those paintings are made. So, now, when it comes to these 10 days or 9 days, this entire body, Atayvahika Sharira or Yatana Sharir is formed. And 10th day, the person starts feeling hunger and thirst. Now, the next 2 days which are there, 11th and 12th day, the departed soul he eats. So, therefore, 13 days, this rice balls are offered, the Vishnu Prasad, the Pindodaka Kriya is done, and this Pinda and Udaka is offered. And taking that, this entire person gets nourished. Another important detail, this offering, the rice ball that is there, is divided into 4 parts. 2 parts are meant for formation of the body. One part is for the person who is departing, and one part is for the Yamadutas who have come. Very nice description. So after the body is formed, he gets hunger, then he eats. Now 13th day, Yamadutas pull him from that place and his journey begins. Now during the journey also, every single month for one complete year, Pinda and Udaka is offered. The rice ball is offered, water is also offered. And that is divided into 4 parts, and now you all know the 4 parts we all take. The 2 parts is for the body, nourishment, one part is for the soul in general, and one part is for Yamadutas, the 2 Yamadutas. Now sometimes when people are in hurry, they have their office work and they don't get leave, and say if parents are dead and their kriya has to be done, they try to finish it off in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. Pandit ji kara dijiye. But you have to understand that it's not going to happen like that. It's a 13-day process that is there. 13-day process. And now just imagine if every month it is not offered, then at that time Yamadutas beat him like anything. This is what you taught your son? Because of you, even we have to remain hungry. Nice beatings he gets. Now let's discuss the road that goes to Yamaraj's abode. So we are here in Bhuloka and we're talking about a loka that is below the 7th planet. That is Narakaloka. The entire distance from here to that place is given as 86,000 yojanas. That comes to approximately 11 lakh kilometers. That is what is the distance. And it takes 1 year, one complete year for the departed soul to start from the dead body and go till Yamaraj's abode. Now just imagine 1 complete year this travel happens. Now he has to travel such a long distance. So every day he travels 3,000 kilometers. Every day. Now his speed is very fast. If he doesn't go fast, he's nightly beaten. He has to go fast. So 3,000 kilometers every day. This is what his traveling speed is. And it is described that he passes through 16 cities from Bhuloka till Narakaloka, and in between there is a very, very beautiful, fragrant river that passes through, that is called as Vaitarani. Yes. I'll describe what is Vaitarani. Now, before I describe about sinful people, let's try to understand what happens to pious people. So, when it comes to pious people, Yudhishthir Maharaj is having a conversation with Markandeya Rishi. This is in Vanaparva of Mahabharat. So Yudhishthira Maharaj has a question: what happens to pious people? How is their journey? So when this question is asked, so at that time, Markandeya Rishi, he speaks. And Markandeya Rishi starts explaining that what happens to the pious people. Now pious people are the ones who are given charity. Pious people are the ones who have done some pious activities, building hospitals, digging wells, etc., etc. So such people, they don't go by walk. They get chariots. Some people get golden chariots. Some chariots are driven by horses, some by camel, and some by a lot of peacocks. And he gets an umbrella also. He never remains thirsty. He gets food also on time. And when he is going through this chariot, so at that time, there's actually a very nice fragrant river, and that is called as Pushpodaka. Pushpa Udaka. So Udaka means water and Pushpa is flowers. So very, very fragrant water. And he is able to quench his thirst. So in this way, he reaches 11 lakh kilometers to Yamaraj's abode. Now this description is very nice, very beautiful. But please hear the description of a person who is very sinful. What happens to him? When he is walking, he is taken through a path where there are no trees, no shade, no water, no food. He is made to walk, run. If he doesn't, he is beaten. And these Yamadutas, they have iron rods, metal rods, and they beat him nicely with that. They have hunters in the hand to beat him nicely. And it is described that when he is walking, the heat that comes on him is equivalent to 12 suns' heat. Now just imagine one sun, so much scorching heat. 12 suns, when they rise together, how much heat that will be? 12 suns' heat. And he's tortured like anything. Huge description is there, I'm just describing a little bit. What are the tortures? He's pierced by cold winds when he's walking. Now it all depends on what charity he has done. And these sinful people will not do any charity, will not help people, they'll just do sinful activities. So at times, since he has not donated any clothes, since he has not done any charity, sometimes he's taken naked. It's only when the charity of that particular thing is given, then he gets that particular thing to wear when he's walking from his dead body till hellish planet. So just imagine naked person walking and nicely beaten, the cold winds, piercing cold winds, and his entire body sometimes is torn by thorns on the way. He's bitten by snakes, scorpions, lions, tigers, dogs on the way. He's burned by fire at times. He's pierced and torn in a forest where the trees have got special leaves which are sword like. And there are some wells which are hidden, which are covered. And these Yamadutas purposely take him to that way, and that person falls inside that well, that ditch. And in that ditch, a lot of other things which are there. There are some carnivorous animals, there are some carnivorous aquatics, and they trouble him a lot. They bite him nicely. Then again they pull him, and then again take him. And sometimes he's made to fall from huge mountains. अभी तक hellish planet पहुंचे नहीं है. Only travel is going on. And he is made to walk on the hot sand. Yamadutas have the power to fly, but he is made to walk on hot sand and sometimes on a floor that is metallic and which is heated very nicely. He is made to walk on that. And like this, he keeps crying and crying and crying, and even while crying, he remembers his family members. Oh, my son, where are you? Oh, my dear wife, where are you? These people are troubling me so much. Please help me. And whenever he calls out like this, start, jump, chalo. And then he's taken there. Chalo, aage chalo. Go ahead. And at times, when he's not able to walk, he's dragged on that floor. Because Yamapasha is put, he's just dragged on that floor. And he's beaten nicely by the Yamadutas when he falls down. And at times he vomits blood. Now, by the way, this all description that is there is on the subtle platform, not on the gross platform. It's all on the subtle platform. Even the hellish planets are on the subtle platform. But the pain that is there, that is much more than a person can get on the gross platform. So it's very, very high level of pain that is given. And in all the situations, when he's dragged like that, he's able to see that there are people going on chariots. There are people who are flying and going. At that time, he laments that why I didn't do any pious activity. Why I didn't do any pious activity. Hope my sons would do some pious activity. Hope my relatives will help me to come out of this situation. And along with that, Yamadutas also torture him. Why you committed sin? Now you'll go to Kumbi Park. Now you'll go to this hell. Now you'll go to that hell, and you'll be suffering in that place like anything. Already he's scared, and these people will keep speaking, chastising, and scare him more. And this goes on and on and on. And there begins 16 cities which he's going to visit. Almost every month, one city he'll visit. The first city that he visits is on 18th day. Look at the precision of our Shastra. 18th day he visits the first city, and that is called as Saumya. And there is a river called Pushpa Bhadra, and there's a beautiful fig tree also. There he takes some rest. And while taking rest, the most pathetic situation about these sinful people is, even while taking rest, he's thinking about his wife and kids. He's so attached, so attached. And at that time, Yamadutas start chastising him. Where is your wealth? Where are your relatives? Very proud of that. And they beat him again nicely. They beat him with hammer and chastise him more and more. And then he gets his first month Pinda, rice balls. With that he eats, Yamadutas eat, he is nourished a little bit, but still his hunger does not go away. He's made to work so much, his hunger doesn't go away. And then he's pulled from that place again, and they proceed. And they reach to a place called Shauripura. And in this place, there's a deadly king called Jangama. And just by looking at Jangama, who is so deadly, this person becomes so fearful that he runs away from that place. And it is described that after 45 days, he gets his next meal. That is, only if his sons offer him Pinda and Udaka, rice balls and water. Nahi to nahi milega kuch bhi. So if he doesn't get, he is in a very, very terrible state. So again and again it was given that by taking that Pinda and Udaka, he enjoys. This is the word that is used. He enjoys for that time. But still his hunger is not satisfied, his thirst is not satisfied. And again he is taken ahead. And they keep moving. 3,000 kilometers per day. That is what is the distance that they need to cover. Then they come to the third city. Now this third city is called as Nagendra Bhavana, where there is fearful forests, and there he cries in misery in that place. A lot of carnivorous animals, this and that. It is very, very fearful. And he falls down, he is weeping, but no mercy. He is dragged on the floor again and again. And after 2 months, he leaves that city. And he gets his next offering. If his sons offer him the rice ball and water. He proceeds to the next place called Gandharva. He reaches that in the third month. And there also he gets his third month offering. Then he goes to a place called Shailagama. There he reaches on the fourth month, and there is stones rain. That stones are raining from the top. I can just imagine. Stones are raining from the top. No protection. Stones are falling on him. And he gets nice beatings. Yamadutas are beating, from top stones are also falling. And then fourth month, rice ball he gets. Now the living entity is so much in ignorance, so much condition, he gets the rice ball, he enjoys that for that particular moment. And again, his hunger is not satisfied. He's feeling hungry and he's dragged to next place, and they keep walking. Mind you, 3,000 kilometers per day. And then he goes to next place called Krauncha. He reaches there on the fifth month. There he gets next offering. He goes to a next place called Vichitra Bhavana. And in Vichitra Bhavana, there is the younger brother of Yamaraj who stays. And he is also very, very ferocious in his looks. Just by looking at him, he starts running. He runs, and finally he comes to a river. That river is called as Vaitarani river. Now this river is not fragrant, it's very, very stinky. This river is made up of, firstly it is 1,000 yojanas long. That is 1,300 kilometers. And this river is filled with pus and blood. On the banks, There are no stones, there are bones on the banks. And there is no mud, it's muscles and blood. That combination is put on the banks. And the entire river is filled with different types of crocodiles, leeches, snakes, scorpions, deadly birds, stinking insects. And now what happens is there is a boatman who comes on the river and he says, all the ones who have pious credits can come. You can come on the boat. And this person is so sinful that he has not done any pious activity in his life. He is not allowed to board the boat. And this person is made, he's pushed into that river, and who pushes? Yamdutas. And now just imagine this, look at this entire scene. Imagine this entire scene. He falls down in the river. You can imagine a fish with a hook. Like the hook is dragged and the fish gets dragged in the river. Similarly, this person is tied with Yamapasha. Yamadutas are flying up and he's dragged in that river of pus and blood. And when he's dragged, in between, crocodiles are doing Mahaprasadi. And then leeches are the ones who are biting him. And all the other insects are stinking him. Scorpions are biting him. And this goes on and on and on. And it's very nice to note that 6th month gets completed and he gets his next offering. Again, if the sons do offering, if the sons are not into IT job and they get long leave, and if they're there, if they're able to do the offering of Pinda and Udaka, then yes, he gets. 7th month he reaches a place called Bhavapada. 8th month he reaches a place called Dukhada. And all these places, he gets his rice balls and water. And there's a next place, the 9th month. At the end of 9th month, he reaches a place called Nana Krandapura. Now this Nana Kranda. Kranda means cry. Nana, varied cries. So there are a lot of people who keep crying in that village, in that city. And hearing their cries, this person also starts crying. He's so pressed with fear, he's so miserable in that place. And in this way, he gets a lot of misery. And at times he faints hearing that cry is so loud. 10th month, with great difficulty, he reaches a place called Sutapta Bhavana. Sutapta. It's very hot Bhavana. 11th month, he reaches Raudra. And I will not repeat. Every month he gets his offering, provided his son does the offering. And then 11 and a half month, when it's completed, he reaches a place called Payovarshana. Payovarshana here, there are clouds, and these clouds are unique clouds which have all the power to give misery and suffering to that person. Payovarshana. And at this time, Shraddha ceremony is performed. Before 1 year is completed, Shraddha ceremony is performed. So when Shraddha ceremony is performed, again he gets his offering. Now what happens is, every time when he reaches these cities, he loses hope that I cannot do anything. I have no hopes in life. He loses all the confidence. But then he gets his offering. Then that gives him confidence. Then determination. Okay, I can walk. And then that's how he walks and walks and walks. Then towards the end, it's not ended, but towards the end of the year, he comes to a place called Shitadhya. And again, now just imagine if he has not done any charity in life, then he'll be naked, no clothes. He's taken to this place, and this place has got 100 times colder weather than that of peak of Himalayas. That's the description given in Garuda Purana. He cries looking in 10 directions. Is there any relative of mine who can save me? Is there any other relative who can save me? And no, he's looking for whom? He's looking for a pure devotee. Only a pure devotee can save. Therefore, when Prahlad Maharaj was asked by Narasimhadev, what do you want? And Prahlad Maharaj said that please forgive my father, please deliver him. So at that time, Narasimhadev said, in any house where a pure devotee has taken birth, in that house 21 generations are delivered. Now you can imagine if any person is struggling like this, because of that one devotee, that person will be delivered. And all these different Vedic rituals which are given in Shastra, those are not for time pass. You can imagine here, such a critical situation, and all those rituals which are done helps that person. And finally, at the end of the year, he comes to a place called Bahubhiti. This is the 16th city. And this city is very close to Yamaraj's abode. And at that time, he casts off the body, his Yatana Sharir. And again, he's of the thumb size. And based on the karma, he'll get his next body now. And this spirit soul with the subtle body is taken through the airways now. And they reach Yamaraj's abode. Now, the precision of our Shastra is so wonderful. When I was reading, I was feeling so nice. Not about the situation of the person, but about the precision of our Shastra. So, the distance between Bahubhiti and Yamaraj's abode is 440 yojanas or 5.6 thousand kilometers. And he goes through the airways, he's taken there. Now, finally, he reaches the Yamaraj's abode. Now, 1 year goes in this, almost 1 year. To be more precise, 348 days or something like that. So approximately we can take it as 1 year. So can you imagine? From dead body till Yamaraj's abode, it's 1 year span. And the person is beaten black and blue in that. Already he has got hellish treatment. But those people who have done pious activities, no sins, zero sins or minimal sins. Such people are the ones who nicely come in the chariot with cool breezes, nice water. I don't know if it's packed water or cold water, whatever it is. And in between, they get food also to eat. They wear nice clothes. And also, if they have given gold in charity, they get ornaments also to wear while going to the abode of Yamaraj. So in this way, finally he reaches Yamaraj's abode. Now in Garuda Purana, Lord Vishnu is telling Garuda that now let me describe to you the abode of Yamaraj. And Yamaraj's abode is very beautiful. It is 1000 yojanas, 13 kilometers, 13,000 kilometers wide. One side of this place is the house of Chitragupta, or palace of Chitragupta, which extends to 320 kilometers. In 13,000 kilometers, one corner is 320 kilometers place of Chitragupta. And there are many others also around. Those are the personification of all the diseases, like fever, TB, whatever you want to call it. The huge list of diseases. So personification of diseases stay there. And in the middle of the city is the house of or the palace of Yamaraj. Now here the description of palace of Yamaraj. 2,500 kilometers width and 645 kilometer height. That is what is a huge palace of Yamaraj. Huge. Here everything is in kilometer, no square feet. Everything kilometer. Huge. And it described that the entire place is made very, very beautiful. Made up of valuable jewels and metals. And there are a lot of trees and gardens and other things. Now this is abode of the Lord Soul, abode of Lord Yamaraj. And Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajans, a great devotee. And maybe he'll have a satsang or whatever inside. Chitragupta is also a great devotee. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur describes that how Chitragupta is a great devotee, Yamaraj is a great devotee. And when Jagai and Madhai were delivered, both of them they were in ecstasy, dancing in ecstasy. So in this way, this particular place has got 4 gates. Eastern gate, western gate, northern gate and the southern gate. And those people who have done pious activity, now there are categories of pious activities given. They are taken through these gates, east, west and north. And these places, these gates are very nicely decorated, very, very beautiful. And that's how these pious people enter who have done pious activities. It is also described demigod worshippers also enter through these gates if they have not done any sinful activity. And when they enter inside at that time, Yamaraj gives them darshan. But Yamaraj's darshan for the pious people is very beautiful with 4 hands, holding various auspicious items in the hands. And Yamaraj very beautifully, with very nice sweet voice, he welcomes them. And is described, for some people he pays obeisance also. And those pious people also pay obeisance to Yamaraj. And there, There's a place where they go to Swarga with lot of golden chariots, with lot of awe and reverence. This pious soul is sent to Swargalok. Short description. Now here the long description of the person who enters the southern gate. Now when they enter the southern gate, so by the way, Vaitarani is only in that southern gate path. Okay. For other three gates, there is no Vaitarani that comes into picture. For the southern gate, this is there. And there is a doorkeeper whose name is Bharadwaj, Dharma Dhwaja, who stands there. And Dharma Dhwaja goes and informs Chitragupta that so and so great personality has come. Please do the honors. And now Chitragupta is informed, so Chitragupta informs Yamaraj that so and so great person has come. Please come and do the honors. So that time Yamaraj is asking, so tell what are his sinful activities? What is the quota of sin that he has got? Chitragupta knows it, he is all knowing. But still he asks two personalities. And their names are Shravan and Shravani. And these two personalities, Shravan and Shravani, are the ones who go around the entire 14 planetary systems and they keep observing each and every living entity what they are doing. And the best part is they're able to observe the internals also. Internally, what the person is thinking while doing that particular activity. And guess what? All that is recorded. I don't know how many pixels camera they have. That's recorded. And they have much better mic than this also. Yes. And all that audio, video, everything is recorded. Shravani especially, she takes care of the females. When they have the distinction. The Shravani takes care of the female and she goes around and sees what these females are doing. And she records all that. So Chitragupta, he asked these two. And for your information, in 6th canto Shrimad Bhagavatam, in 2nd chapter or so, there are more, I think 12 or 13 witnesses which are given. Do you all know 13 witnesses? 12 or 13 witnesses. Who are they? Sun, moon, directions, okay. Okay, air, okay, day, evening, day and night, fire, huh? Yeah. Yeah, earth is also there. Yes, earth is also there. Water is there. Wind is there. One important person you're forgetting. Super soul. Super soul is also there. And Yamaraj is there. And along with that, the time span that is there between day and night and day, that is also there. That's called as twilight. So in this way, we have got so many witnesses, and still people think no one is watching me. Can you imagine that? This is called as utter ignorance. No one is watching me. And so many people are watching. So many. Continuous 24/7 CCTV cameras, not one, so many are there recording everything. Because sinful people are the ones who can always say, nahi, maine nahi kiya tha. And at that time, Yamaraj, theek hai bacha dekho. And then he displays. In the air, whatever current technologies people are getting in the air, that's already there. So in the air, video and audio is there, dekho. This is what you did on this day, this is what you did on that day, and everything is shown. So in this way, Chitragupta is asking Shravan and Shravani. And when Chitragupta informs Yamaraj that this is the account of sinful activities of this person, at that time Yamaraj gives his darshan. Now Yamaraj gives his darshan to sinful people is not like as pleasing as it was for pious people. It is very, very ferocious. It's described he has got 32 hands. He is holding so many weapons in the hands. And his height is given. He's 3 yojanas height. 3 yojanas is not 3 feet. It is 39 kilometers. I was just wondering how big that will be. And this living entity is got inside is just thumb size. Now can you imagine? Can you imagine the entire scene of that sinful person? And looking at Yamaraj, the sinful person cries like anything. He cries like anything. And already one Yatana Sharir is given to him. As soon as he enters, he is given a Yatana Sharir, different Yatana Sharir. And this Yatana Sharir is much more painful, or it can give much more pain than that what we get in this gross body. If someone pinches us, into 100 times is what is the pain that person will get in the Yatna Sharir. And when he's looking at Yamaraj, so that time he starts crying. And Yamaraj looks at Chitragupta. Chitragupta also shivers. Can you imagine the ferocious form of Yamaraj? Now even Chitragupta also fears and he shivers. And Chitragupta, then he starts shouting at this sinful living entity. He starts shouting various ways. Why did you commit so many sins? What was the need? You did this, you did this, you did this. You're such a rogue. You're so attached to your family. And just to maintain your family, you did all these sinful activities. Just for sense gratification, you did all these sinful activities. And he goes on and on and on. At that time, hearing the chastisement from Chitragupta, the living entity remains motionless and silent. Not able to do anything. What will he do? What will he do? So at that time, calculation is done and the hell is decided. Which hell the person will be sent to. Any idea how many hells are there? 28. For your information, those are prominent hells. There are 84 lakh hells. And out of that, the prominent ones are 21 or 28. These are the two different numbers which are given. And Shrimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, last chapter elaborately speaks about all these different hells, 28 hells. They are nicely described in that. Very beautiful. You all can read through. When I read it for the first time, I was getting goosebumps when I was reading that. See, when we hear all this, we'll be able to appreciate our Acharya. Why is Srila Prabhupada again and again saying that a devotee shouldn't commit sinful activity? And why these four sins only? No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Why this again and again and again? Because anyone who does this, that person is put into a particular hell where he suffers like anything. And just to give a glimpse of some of the hells, what happens in these places? For the one who does meat eating, he is sent to a hell called Maharaurava. And in this Maharaurava, there are huge animals. And these animals devour the person who has eaten animals. That's Maharaurava. There's another hell called Kumbi Park. Kumbi Park is something, I don't know why it is famous, but it's famous. Everyone knows Kumbi Park. So in that there's a huge vessel. I think thousands and thousands of people, prasad can be cooked in that. But prasad is not cooked. This person is cooked in that. So there's boiling oil that is there in that. And this person is put in that oil. And with huge spoons, he's kept inside. From Yamadutas and from various sides, they hold him inside. And he is nicely fried in that particular place. This is what happens to those people who are meat eaters. Another very nice thing to note, I don't know, it's not nice, but a good information, that when a person comes from hellish planet back to this planet, when the sins are reduced substantially, the person comes to this planet. And when he comes to this planet, there is a nice way to understand if that person has come from hell or from heaven. So a person has come from hell, especially this meat eater person, he'll be reddish, in his complexion, and various other diseases he'll have on his body. And also it is described those people who are into illicit sex. Now this is something which is very difficult for even devotees to give up. Even subtle platform is not allowed. Illicit sex on a subtle platform also not allowed. Therefore, it's very, very important that when the Acharya is saying no illicit sex, means no illicit sex. And all those people who are living here around in various PGs, enjoying together in the same room without marriage, yes, they would have a tough time. This pre-marital affair, extramarital affair, these hells are made specially for that. And the ones who are so eager to change the partner every night, or change the partner regularly, and here there is a hell called Tapta Surmi. Tapta Surmi. Tapta means hot. And there's a nice, beautiful figure that is made of a female. And for females, a male handsome hunk is made. But this beautiful form, this handsome hunk form, is made up of metal, and that metal is nicely heated. And this person is called Yatna Sharir. And then Yamadutas, smilingly, laughingly, they say, go and embrace this beautiful person. I can imagine the entire scene. He knows that that is a heated metal. And you're like, no, I don't want to go. And these Yamadutas, they push him and catch him and make sure that he embraces that metallic structure. And he feels a lot of pain. And the worst part is, even if he feels a lot of pain, he cannot die. For how many thousands of years he's destined to suffer, he has to suffer for those many thousands of years. And then there is another hell for those who indiscriminately indulge in sex even with animals. I'm talking about human beings. Vajra Kantaka Shalmali. Now, this is another nice hell, very deadly. There are trees, having a huge thorny branches and leaves, sword-like, and the person is kept at the top of the tree, and he's pulled down, from the top. Now, he's pulled down from the top. You can imagine what would happen. All those sword-like structure enters his body, tears apart his body, and guess what? He cannot die. And such people who are into illicit sex and they come to this planet again, they are born as neither male nor female. That is the gender that they get when they have illicit sex in previous life. And there are many more hells like that. So we have called something called as the ones who don't follow Shastra, they get into a hell called Asi Patravana. Asi Patravana is like a forest that has got a lot of trees, and trees don't have leaves, they have swords. And this person is beaten and he runs into that forest. When he runs, he goes and hits all those trees, and the leaves are very nicely pointed towards him, and he's pierced like anything. And all these different hells, the Yamadutas beat him like anything, saying, why did you do this particular sin? Why did you do it? And such people who are there, when they take birth on this planet, again, after hellish planet, they are diseased from top to bottom. Jaundice is one of the diseases that they're put, which remains for a long, long time. Long, long time. And the ones who are thieves, the ones who are into gambling, they are the ones who are put into another place where the 720 dogs, 720, and they're not like small Vodafone dogs. They're huge, huge. And these huge dogs, 720, they're left there, and they all together, they surround. They chant the prasadam prayers together, and they jump on him together. It's very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. And they devour him like anything. And who are the ones who are devoured there? Thief, poison giver, government officials, plunderers, mercantile men, and all the ones who are into gambling. They are also put into this. What about those people who drink alcohol? Oh, by the way, these people in the next life, when they come to this planet, they become animals. And what about those people who are taking alcohol? They are sent to one particular hell where, because they wanted kick in this planet, so they were having alcohol. So Yamadutas, they say, we'll give you better kick. And they actually kick him first. And then his jaws are held by one Yamaduta is holding one jaw, other Yamaduta is holding another jaw. And the third Yamadut, or the third servant who is there, he pours molten iron in the mouth of that person. Now just imagine when it goes and burns his body, then he gets all the kick possible in life. Very nice. So in this world, when such people come, for example, the killer of the cow, they get humpback. That's the body they get. The murderer of a virgin becomes a person who gets leprosy or a similar disease which is very deadly. Destroyer of embryos, abortion and other things, they get disease throughout their life, whole body, savage full of disease. And the eater of flesh, they have their own bodies which I described. The drinker of intoxicants, they are the ones who have discolored teeth and various other problems in the mouth and the body. And the one who bears false witness in this world, for that they are sent to some hell. When they come back, they are born as dumb. And the ones who hear such false witness, they are born as deaf. And this is just one description. A lot of reasons for taking birth, in these various forms in this world. And it's very, very important to understand that this entire system is made so flawless that no one can escape. No one. The multiple lessons that we can learn when we read all this. The first thing is that how great our Shastra is. Everything is given. So whatever I spoke was from Garuda Purana, Shrimad Bhagavatam, and Mahabharat. Vanaparva. So now you can imagine it is so precise. Everything is there. Now some people might say, "पता नहीं किसने देखा है, क्या है, होता है कि नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, experience कर लो." एक बार experience करेंगे तो समझ जाएगा. Those people who have these things in the mind that पता नहीं किसने देखा है, क्या देखा है, they get more beatings. अभी देख तुम. Yes, we are. अभी देख. Hammers are hit, to such people. Hammers and chabuk and whatnot. Whatnot. So this is the first thing. Second is, many times when people take up to devotional service, so they feel that anyways we are devotees, we need not do all this Pindodaka Kriya and all that, not needed. By the way, there is something called as Pitrilok also. So Pitrilok is a place where when the decision is not made, is he going to Swarga or is he going to Naraka? Now some indecisive state that person is, so he's kept in Pitrilok for some time. Now it's very important to note that when the Pindodaka Kriya is done every year, when Pindadan is done every year in Pitru Paksh, so at that time these people get various nourishment, various pious credits, and they're delivered from such situations. Now many times devotees might say that when anyways we are devotees, we are chanting Hare Krishna, we need not do all this. No. Who are exempted from all these kriyas? The renunciants are exempted. The ones who are renunciants, who have given up their entire material life and have surrendered to the Lord, full-time serving the Lord, they are said, okay, you are free from this debt of forefathers. But all the others who are there, they're supposed to do this Pindodaka Kriya. Doesn't matter how great the devotee is, still that person has to do. Paramhamsas are exhibited or exempted, not exhibited, exempted, not others. So we have to ask ourselves, am I a Paramhamsa? Yes. If the answer is no, then that activity has to be done. Just tell me, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya to do the rituals for his father. We are above Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Above. Yes. Just imagine. Therefore, we cannot be fanatics saying that anyway I'm chanting Hare Krishna, so I need not do all this. We are chanting Hare Krishna, but how? That we know, and the 13 witnesses also know. Yes. Then everyone knows. Except the devotees around, who always glorify us saying you're such a great devotee, except them, all the other witnesses know that how much terrible chanters we are. And where is the question of surrender? 6 symptoms of surrender are not implemented in our life. So where is the question of being surrendered? Only a surrendered soul is exempted from all this. Therefore, at times, we mistake and think that this is not meant for me. No, it's meant for all the people who are not in the category of renunciants, and even renunciants also. I was hearing for renunciants that if renunciants don't do intense bhakti staying in the ashram, they will also have tough time, because if they're not doing proper bhakti, their debt towards all those personalities. See what happens when a person becomes a renunciant. There's no progeny after him. And if there's no progeny after him, then who is going to do Pindodaka Kriya for the people who are stuck in various hellish planets, ghostly bodies and all? So if he does nice bhakti and becomes a pure devotee, they are delivered. But if he's there in the ashram, hiding sweets in the cupboard, and just eating that, sleeping, escaping from services, not doing any austerity, such persons are cursed by all these forefathers. They're cursed. And since they're cursed, they'll have tough time. In fact, one of the sannyasi, senior disciple of Prabhupada, was saying, such devotees will go to hell. I don't know which hell. Now we have more description. Out of 84 lakh hell, one of them. And when it comes to others, yes, they are supposed to do their respective duties towards the forefathers. So debt is something that we all have, and that can be easily fulfilled if someone does nice, pure devotional service. Therefore, it doesn't matter, are we grihasthas, renunciants, what we are. important is pure devotional service rendered at the lotus feet of the Lord without doing any sinful activities, without doing any adharmic activities. If any adharma is there, any sinful activity is there, that person will not be categorized as devotee. This has to be remembered very clearly. So the first point is about Shastra, how glorious our Shastra is. Second point is that these kriyas which are there, these rituals which are there, everyone has to do except for the renunciants. Everyone else has to do this. And renunciants have to focus on intense devotional service. And everyone else also has to do that, has to focus on intense devotional service. Another very important thing is when the Acharya is giving some instruction, that has to be followed properly. When those instructions are followed, just imagine if anyone who has come to bhakti, it doesn't matter how sinful he was in the past, that's not counted. Now, someone might say, Prabhu, you have done all that sin that you just described. Doesn't matter. Even if you're qualified for all the 84 lakh hills, still will be saved if we stop committing sinful activities and we take up to bhakti very seriously and follow the instruction of the Acharya. And just imagine what Srila Prabhupada has done. All those people who were gliding down to hell, Prabhupada just came and turned their trajectories, and now all of them are going to Goloka Vrindavan. This is what Srila Prabhupada has done. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked that, Swamiji, why are you traveling in jet plane from one place to another? And Swamiji said, Srila Prabhupada said, what to do? People are going in jet speed to hell, so I have to save them. Can you imagine? So when Prabhupada has gone around and given Mahamantra everywhere, there's a huge change that has happened in the number of people who are going to hell. All those people who are in ISKCON, who are nicely practicing bhakti, following regulative principles, following the rules and regulations, they are paving their path not towards hell, but surely towards Goloka Vrindavan. And even if they miss, surely Yamdutas cannot touch them. No. Krishna is personally taken charge of those devotees. And Krishna will do the needful. And therefore, as devotees, taking care of all this, and yes, we shouldn't worry about hell and other things, but still, remembering all this, one has to go intense in devotional service every single day and going deeper and deeper and deeper. Escape all these nonsensical descriptions of hell. Descriptions are true, but that is very much nonsensical when we hear and so disturbing. So escape all that and go back to God in this very life. This very life. Because you never know, we take another birth, and since the entire atmosphere is so sinful, you never know, we will also get into sinful activities. And more the number of sins, more the probability of the person going and meeting Yamaraj with 32 hands. And the rest of the things we already described. So in this way, when we become pure devotees, many benefits are there. The first benefit is we save ourselves. Second benefit is we are delivering all those forefathers who are stuck in various hellish planets for thousands and thousands of years. And the third benefit is, or this should be the most primary one, all the acharyas in the parampara are very pleased. We have saved this person from going to hell. And Krishna will be very pleased with our acharyas because we have been delivered by them. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.